What's up, everybody? It's me, Arena League Outsiders, which means it must be Wednesday. Yes, it is. March 9th, 23 days left till kickoff, where we got the Philadelphia Soul going to Cleveland to take on the Gladiators at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN3 on April 1st. Can't wait. 3 weeks from this Friday. And we're going to be actually talking about Arena League football, about the games, about previews, about players, stats, all that kind of stuff. 3 weeks away. Unfortunately, it's still mid-March. At least it's starting to get nice out outside. But first things first, I want to let you guys all know I'm working on a project. I got a spreadsheet going that's going to mold together stats, roster changes, standings, all that kind of stuff that you normally would go to, say ESPN or, in our case, arenafootballleague.com, that kind of stuff. I'm going to have it all in one place on the spreadsheet where it would be easily sortable and searchable and all that kind of stuff that makes it really easy, all in one spot. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to share it, whether it's going to be on Google Drive or website. I'm thinking about doing a blog, but that's a lot since I plan on doing a lot on this channel too. But either way, as soon as I get that done, I'm going to let everybody know and I'm going to share it. Let you guys all use it if you would like to. If you play the Arena Fan Fantasy, it'll be good for that. If not, if you just want the information, you just want stats, you want standings on stuff, you don't want to go to arenafootball.com, I got you. And I'm going to send that out and let you guys all know about it here. Probably next week, I'm hoping to have that done. So without further ado, let's get into the news and what I like to call Around the AFL news, notes, and nuggets. Not a lot of news happened again this week, like I said before. It's mid-March. There's training camp updates and stuff like that, but still, as I've said the last couple of weeks, there's not a whole lot going on. There's actually more going on in the transaction side of the house than just the normal news. So there'll be more information when we get down to that part. But let's get into the newsworthy topics of the week. Number one, Dominic Jones. So if you followed the Arena League for even a minute, you know who Dominic Jones is. He was the fiery, some would say big mouth defensive back for the Cleveland Gladiators for the last 4 years. He was part of the 2014 17-1 Cleveland Gladiators when they lost to Arizona in the championship. Well, he is done playing, of course, but he has been hired on to be the defensive backs coach for the Gladiators. So although he's leaving as a player and it's going to hurt on the field, at least he's not going far, and at least he's not going to coach for somebody else. He'll still be there in Cleveland. He'll still be able to help the young guys. So it's great news for the Arena League One to have a big profile guy like that stay with the league and coach the team that he played for. That's awesome, and it's great for the city of Cleveland. It's just good all around, and I'm excited for Dominic. I'm excited for Cleveland. That's great news for you guys. I'm sure Dominic Jones is going to be just as good as a coach as he was as a player, and good luck to you guys. The only other news story to talk about is to keep the tradition going with the training camp updates. We got 2 teams announced in the last week, the Portland Steel and the Philadelphia Soul. So, of course, Portland announced last Wednesday, right after I posted my video, that they will start their training camp this week, this Friday actually, March 11th at the PDX Sports Center up there in Portland. Best thing is, all practices are open to the public, so if you're a Portland fan or you live up there and you're an Arena fan, go to the practices. I'm sure it's going to be a great time. They have practices almost every day until March 25th. Of course, they have a couple days off and some indoor stuff, but most of their practices are open, so go have fun, bring your kids, enjoy the practices, and good luck to Portland this year. I'm excited for you guys being rebranded and starting over, kind of same team, but still starting over in the front office and coaching and all that kind of stuff. So good luck to you guys, and like I said, March 11th for Portland, that's this Friday, and they end on March 25th. Like I said before, Philadelphia, the Soul, they announced that they will start practice tomorrow, March 10th, at the Fieldhouse in Morristown, New Jersey. Looks like they're following the same footsteps as the Steel, and all their practices are going to be open to the public, so that's good for you guys, you Philadelphia fans. They'll be wrapping up their training camp on the 25th as well. So go out there, just like with Portland. If you're a Philly fan and you want to go to practices, they're pretty much all open. And like I've said before, not all the teams do that. So take advantage of it. It starts tomorrow, March 10th. I will post both of the links below that will give you the updates and all the details that you need for those two training camp practices. So if you're interested, check the description block below and you'll get all the information you need. That's pretty much it for the news this week. Like I said, not a lot to report on, being March 9th and being 3 weeks away from the season. But there were a couple big names acquired this week in kind of the Arena League free agency, if you will. So let's get into what I like to call the who and where, which is just the transactions of the AFL. First up, announcing since the last video, is the Tampa Bay Storm. Of course, another announcement that came in right after I did my video last week. Tampa Bay has announced that they have acquired kick returner Gerald Young. If that name sounds familiar, he was the guy that set the single game record with 2 missed field goal returns last year against Arizona. I think it was their first game, and they shocked Arizona. It was like, holy crap, Las Vegas might actually be pretty good. And of course, that didn't happen, but that was a great first showing. He had another return later in the year, I believe, but last year, Gerald Young had 22 catches, 293 yards, and with just 1 touchdown. So that's good for the Storm. They already have Kendrick Ings over there, so I don't know if Gerald Young is going to be their kick returner, but either way, they have 2 options, and they have 2 really speedy receivers to help out Boltus. Next up is the Rattlers, as if they're not always in the news. But same day that Tampa announced, which was last Wednesday, the Rattlers announced that they acquired Mike Washington. Yes, that Mike Washington, the guy that was great for the Pittsburgh Power, that was great for the Spokane Shock. Since the Shock went down to the IFL, of course, he's got to go somewhere. And of course, he's got to go to the already loaded Arizona Rattlers, who already has Rod Windsor. They got Chad Dieter. They got Kerry Reed. So they're stacked at the wide receiver position and just picked up another one. So Mike Washington to the Rattlers. While he was with Pittsburgh, he set the team franchise record with 136 receptions, 1,595 yards, and 36 touchdowns in 18 games between 2014 and 2015. So, dude's good. And being a sort of LA Kiss fan, that's kind of sucks for me being in on that side of the division. That the Rattlers are stacked. But last year, he actually had somewhat of a down year, where he only had 801 yards, 15 touchdowns, and only in 7 games. But he's still going to be great. Arizona's still going to be great. Speaking of wide receivers, though, Cleveland announced on March 4th that they will bring back Dominic Goodman. Yes, Goody, as they call him in Cleveland, is the all-time leader in receptions at 727, receiving yards with 7,280, and touchdowns with 132 with Cleveland. Is back in Cleveland, back as a Gladiator, and it's great for Cleveland to go along with the news about Dominic Goodman, or about Dominic Jones, my bad, 2 Dominics. That's huge for Cleveland because they lost Shane Austin, so who knows who their quarterback's going to be. They bring back Deeker, and I think they picked up someone else, I can't remember, but that's great news for Cleveland. They got the receiver back, and it should be another good season for Cleveland as long as their quarterback situation gets figured out. Last but not least, on the transaction front at least, we got Orlando trading away Robert R.J. Bibbs to Cleveland for Cleveland's 5th overall waiver claim. Bibbs spent 2015 with the Voodoo, where he started just 9 games at center for them, and then the 2 years prior to that he played for the Sharks, seeing time at both fullback and center. So just one trade going on this week. Like I said, it's R.J. Bibbs going from Orlando to Cleveland for a waiver claim. But that about wraps up the show this week. It's a lot shorter than last week, but there isn't a huge news drop like it was last week with the rule changes. But make sure you tuned in on Friday. I said this every week, but make sure you tune in this Friday, where I will go over the national conference. I'll go through all the rosters. I'll go through returning players, stats, all that kind of stuff. Kind of just do a conference preview for the national conference, which consists of Arizona, Cleveland, Los Angeles, and Portland. So be ready for that. That's this Friday. Don't know what time of day. Probably around the same time because I'm still got to do some research. But the next week I'm gonna go switch over to the American Conference and do them. So it's Jacksonville, Orlando, Philly, and Tampa. That would be next Friday, and then the week after that would be my prediction video for right before the season starts. So tune into all that kind of stuff and just be ready for Arena League content. That's what I'm here for. Try to bring as much video type stuff as I can to the channel, to the community. Try to build the community. But if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff that you do on YouTube. I'm on Reddit. I'm on Twitter at Arena FB Outsiders without the E. So it's Arena FB OUTSIDRS. So follow me on there. I'm trying to post as much as I can. Just try to get as much news out there. That's what I'm here for. Have a good week, everybody. I'll see you in a couple days, and I'll be back next week for my next weekly update, which will be next Wednesday when we'll only be 16 days away from the Arena League. Can't wait. I cannot wait to hear everyone talk about hockey, basketball, all that kind of stuff, and I just want Arena League to start. So it's so close. Like I said, 23 days. That's it. And then it'll be here. So see you guys next week, and make sure you tune in on Friday for my National Conference preview video. But that's it for now. Take care, everybody.